Hi everyone, I'm Kiva. Welcome back to Book to Kiva, the podcast where we talk about books, bookish opinions, and all things that makes us either obsess over a story or question why we even pick up this in the first place. Today's episode is all about my personal book rating system because I feel like everybody rates their book differently. Of course, they're going to, because personally, it about what I think about the book, and everybody experience with the book is different because what would be a masterpiece 5 star for me would be a maybe 3 star for you. And we always see this on Goodread. So, because I know that everybody's system is different, some people are super generous with their 5 star. Some people barely give out a 5 star. Some people base their ratings on vibes alone. Me personally, I rate my book based on emotional impact, enjoyment, writing, pacing, characters, and honestly, whether the book made me feel something. And vibes is thrown into that also, because if I don't like the vibe of the book, it's going to cause me to actually just damper on what is really going on in that book. And today I'm going to break down exactly what makes a book a 1 star all the way up to a 5 star for me, including how that changes depending on the genre. Because what I expect from a romance book is very different from what I expect from a fantasy book. So let's start from the bottom. That is a 1 star. 1 star. This is painful. This was a painful read. Didn't like what I was reading. It's not disappointed. It's not mediocre. It's just plain bad. This is the kind of book where I'm forcing myself to continue. I'm rolling my eyes at every chapter or every time something happens in the pages that I'm reading, or I'm just questioning my life decision that led me to this book. And when I say bad writing, I don't mean the author can't write. Sometimes there's certain things that completely take me out of the story. Repetitive writing in every chapter sounds just the same. Unnatural dialogue. These are things that no human would actually say this. And also the grandmother, the mother, the teenager, the baby, the man on the road, the CEO, the alpha from Blood Moon Pack sounds the very same. There is no distinction between any characters. They're just there. It's just one type of dialogue going on. And what would cause me to have a 1 star for a romance is that there is no chemistry. This feels forced. The emotional connection is non-existent. What do you mean? It feels like there is nothing. You can't see how these two people get into this relationship and how it keeps on going. There is no connection any at all. The book that depends on a miscommunication trope, the entirety of it, no, we cannot work with that. For me, about chapter 3, if it's a book of 300 pages, by chapter 3, we're supposed to sit down and have this conversation and sort this out. It can't be like that, man. And then what will cause me to have a 1 star for a fantasy read is definitely confused world building. There's not a clear magical system. The too many characters are being thrown into the loop at once. So you're just meeting everybody and they don't have a purpose. They're just being called out like it's a roll call. The story feels more like a homework than entertainment because you have to go and research everything because you're not sure what this person is talking about because so many things are being introduced and the world building don't even make any sense. The story is just going. The author for the fantasy sometimes spend 10 pages describing one kingdom, and then when it kingdom actually finish being explained, you're still like, what is going on here? That's crazy work for me. It's just like this person is thrown into a loop in the story. They're enter into a new world. Nothing is familiar. There's no backstory to explain what is going on. This person, you are very much confused, more confused than the character itself because you're here reading and you're not getting any backstory. That kind of feel off for me for a fantasy. What would make a 2 star for me is that I'm struggling. No, a 2 star book isn't terrible, but reading it feels like work interested or debating whether I should DNF this book. There's usually potential somewhere, but maybe the idea was good, but not fleshed out properly. The characters are interesting, but lost in the story. But overall, the execution did not work for me. Romance book 2 star would be, again, forced chemistry. The emotional buildup is very weak. The repetitive conflict and it cannot get solved at any turn. The characters acting immature for no reason. If the romance feels shallow, it disconnect feel quickly. And if the couple spends the entire book arguing over things that makes no sense, definitely I am out of that. What would make a fantasy book a 2 star for me is the pacing drags, or the pacing is just fast then slow for no reason. It's not a build up, it's just moving on this melancholy vibes. It's all of that. The plot is very confusing. You don't know if the girl is supposed to be the one that's supposed to be pulling out Excalibur, or it's just confusing right through. And I just don't care about the characters, because honestly, if I don't care about the characters and how great the magic system is, the characters are going to feel empty, because what am I reading? A 3 star is an okay book. A 3 star is my neutral rating. I really feel like this is somebody artwork. I may not understand it. You may not understand it, but there is somebody out there that will understand it. But for me, you would get a low 3 star, and that would be the 1 or 2. But a 3 star is not really a bad one, but for me, it's neutral. It means that I finished the book. It means that I did not hate it, but I did not love it either. There was some things that just didn't make any sense for me. It was not properly thought out, but it was good enough to finish. It usually feels forgettable, not bad, not amazing, just there. For me, a 3 star for a romance book. The chemistry was decent. Nothing was memorable. The tension wasn't strong enough, or the emotional moments didn't feel like it hit. Sometimes a relationship feels more like a friendship than a romance. And if I don't care whether you end up together, then it lowers the rating automatically. Fantasy books for a 3 star rating is definitely, the world building is interesting, the pacing struggles, but it was better than a 2 star. You're not feeling these characters. Sometimes fantasy books focus heavily on lore and they forget to make me care about the people that are there. Then a 4 star, this is really good, but not unforgettable. No, we're getting into the strong rates. A 4 star is sometimes genuinely what I enjoy, and a lot of books are 4 star or probably in that mid tier. I would recommend it. I had a good time reading it. It's just a good read. But something stopped it from becoming my favorite. Maybe the ending felt rushed, the middle drag, or one character irritated me too much. One of the main characters irritated me too much, especially when those miscommunication tropes drop in. For a 4 star romance book, the chemistry needed to feel more believable. The emotional tension has built naturally, and I need to feel connected to this relationship. But maybe the third act breakup felt unnecessary, and I'm not against a third act breakup, but it's not necessary sometimes. But it was still good, and not just obsession level feel good. It's just good. For a 4 star fantasy read, the world feel immersive. You're in it. The plot stay engaging. The characters matters emotionally. But maybe there was too much information dumping at that one point in time, because this is known for a lot in fantasy book. Too much information being poured out into the first set of chapters, and it just threw off the entire story. Or the story become overly complicated. It's still a strong read, but definitely those things can throw it off. But a 5 star read. This book owned me. Now, this is the level every reader chases. Is this high that you chase when you want what a 5 star can give you? A 5 star book is more than just good. It becomes an experience. This is when I can't stop reading. I have to be getting the pages in at 3 o'clock in the morning. I have work the next day. I'm emotionally attached. I'm immediately went to recommend it, and I keep thinking about it after I've finished reading. That's what I'm talking about. A 5 star book usually gives me an emotional reaction. Like when I finish, I just sit there staring at the wall for a minute. That's what you got. You got me. A romance 5 star would definitely be uh, the chemistry feel effortless. The emotional connection feels real. The tension is good. The relationship actually makes me feel something. It makes sense overall. It's believable. The conflict makes sense. The strong emotional payoff, definitely. Bonus points here. The banter is amazing. The yearning is painful. Oh my God. And the main lead is obsessed in the best way. Come on. A 5 star fantasy book would definitely give. The world building is amazing. It's immersive without becoming exhausting. The pacing stays strong right throughout the book or the series. The emotional stakes feel real. Let me tell you, the plot twist is plot twisting, is creating shockwave right across. The characters, I care about them more deeply. That is one. And the story that balances action with emotional depth, because a great fantasy does not just have good world building or great world building. It makes you want to live in it. At the end of the day, we just need to respect each other's opinion. But no, I want to know what instantly lower book ratings for you and what guarantees a 5 star read for you. Thank you for listening to Book with Keyboard. Don't forget to follow the podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.